Yes!
That's my girl. Let's go.
Super job. Look at you. You're rolling, right? Nice. Good. Rolling.
I started in that last recall.
Awesome, yeah. Yes! That's it, buddy. Yes. That's a good girl. Come on. Come on, buddy. Good girl. Yes. Down. All the way. That girl. Good down. Nice job. Okay, you. Come on. Girl, good job. Yeah, there you go. Good girl. Atta girl. There you go. Yes. Yes, yes. Good job. All right. All right. You think you can hear me okay there?
Mhm.
So, I'm going to kind of let her just hang out here, and I want to talk about a little bit of, let's talk about your next lesson, basically. You know, your first lesson to you guys was how to capture her attention, how to keep her attention, and how to use her attention to do more complicated things, right? So if she's distracted a little bit here, go get distracted. And if she's distracted, I want to call her, Lucy! Yes! That was our first lesson, right? Good girl. Good job. And once we got her to understand, like when we say her name, that it's the most exciting thing possible, and that when she comes over, she's gonna get a reward, and pretty much with that attention, we can tell her what to do after that, such as healing, sitting, downing, recalling, whatever it might be. So I want to talk about what the next step in your guys' understanding should be, right? So you guys understand how to interact and start an engagement. Now I want to talk about like how to keep her attention. So sorry about that. Our neighbor just was chainsawing something a second ago, and then she got a call, so we're gonna resume. But we're gonna talk about the system of feedback, okay? How to give feedback. Now feedback, you're seeing me give all kinds of feedback, and I'm gonna break down kind of what you guys saw in the beginning of this video, right? So feedback is just that, it's feedback. It doesn't have to be positive or negative always, it just has to be information, right? So between me and her, the information that I'm giving her is, if she's doing the right thing, I'm always gonna be saying something to the positive effect, right? It's gonna be a positive feedback. Under the category of positive feedback is good girl, yes, and or food and pets. Anything that makes her feel like, wow, he liked that I did that. He's happy with me, and so therefore I should repeat this behavior again. So positive feedback is for behaviors you want her to keep doing and repeating, right? So now let's talk about, and we talked about how to deliver positive feedback, right? So you just kind of food, pets, yes, good, right? Those are the way. Okay, now let's talk about negative feedback. Negative feedback doesn't mean punishment. Feedback is different from punishment, right? So feedback is, a vocal would be right? So if she was doing something wrong and I said or a sharp voice vocal sound, that's our first layer of negative feedback, right? She may respond to that, she may not respond to that. That's okay. One example of negative feedback is vocal. The next example of negative feedback, we'll do it with the leash. Now let's say me and her were walking and I turned left, but she wanted to go, I turned right and she turned left. As I go, I'm gonna give her a little leash correction. All that looks like with the leash is just a little bump saying, hey bud. Like if me and my wife were walking and I turned this way and she was spaced out going that way, I would give her a little poke and say, hey, I'm going this way. Yeah. That's the basic thing with the leash bump, right? So she's going that way, I'm going this way. There you go, good girl. The moment she responds to my little bumps and she's like, well, what's happening? Which way are you going? I say, good girl for paying attention and coming with me. Then she realizes, okay, when I feel the little bumps, that means Jeff is changing directions or something else is going on and I need to focus. Now, that was good. We got the verbal, we got the leash, and now we live in 2022 or 3, I don't remember which one it is, but we have electronical stuff that make life really easy, right? And she understands, we've taught her how to understand what this feeling is. And just to give you further information and to be thorough, the way we teach the e-collar is not through punishment, but rather through a positive, I want to say conditioning, right? It's the same thing as Pavlov's bell, right? I'm sure you guys have all heard about that. Pavlov's bell is you ring the bell and you give a treat. Dogs being pattern oriented, they realize, when I hear that, feel that, the next thing that's going to come for me is a treat. So what we've done is been able to pair this feeling to the food, right? So I'm going to kind of demonstrate it to you and then I'll show you how we use it as a way to give feedback, right? First I need to find my little piece of treat. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna, when I press the button, I'm gonna say yes and I'm gonna give her a piece of food. But first I want her to look away. Yes. Good girl. Nice. So in that moment, I press that button. As soon as she looks towards me, I say yes and give her a piece of food. This is not something that you guys are gonna have to teach. I'm just sharing extra information with you guys, right? So now that she understands, when she feels the e-collar, it is something that's coming from me. She knows to look to me when she feels this. This is really important because there's going to be times where maybe she's going crazy and she's being Hurricane Lucy and whatever else, but we need her to focus on us and she can't hear my voice or register it, right? This is a feeling that she'll be able to register no matter what conditions or whatever it is, right? And we're going to dive deeper into the usage of e-collar, but I wanted to talk about feedback system. We talked about the positive, and I wanted to go and be thorough with the negative feedback. The purpose of negative feedback, again, it's not to punish, but instead it's to guide and change mind, okay? So if, again, we're walking, come on, baby girl. We're walking in a way. She's doing a really good job walking. I have my e-collar here, and she gets distracted. I press my button, and she comes back. Yes, good girl. That's a way for me to give her feedback, right? That information she received, it let her know, hey, you're getting too far away from me. I don't appreciate that. I'm gonna let you know through my button press. And when she feels the button, she's like, oh, wait a minute. What's happening? Why did I get the button press? Oh, look at Jeff is far away. I'll close the gap. Oh my God, I closed the gap and Jeff's giving me a reward for that. So what she finds out through comparison is when I'm far away being crazy, I got negative feedback. However, when I adjusted my behavior, I went to Jeff, I got positive feedback. It's through this system of feedback, this dog is able to make life changes. I have an airplane, hold on. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. And then I've been distracted during this video, so please give me some feedback on how this video went for you guys. If it made sense, if you need more explanation, I'd be happy to break things down further. But for your second lesson, I wanted to talk about the feedback system. And then, yeah, as you can see, she's coming along really great otherwise. Yep, please give me a message or a call after you watch it so I know that you guys understood this one too. And then I'll make another one in another couple of days. Thanks for watching. Yes, good girl. Lucy, Lucy. Thanks, Gwen. Lucy. Yes. Come on, Gwen. We gotta train this dog. So I'm gonna correct her if you can.
My baby. Oh, good girl.
Nice.
Sounds nice.
Good girl.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, girl. Lucy. Yeah, that's a good girl.
Good job.
Super, buddy. Is that a new friend you made?
Wow.
Nice.
I don't know if Gwen's met a stranger before. This friend she's not met yet.
You mean Lucy?
No, Gwen.
Oh, yeah. Good job, Lucy. Lucy. Yes, good
Right.
girl. Thank you, Gwen. Lucy.
That's awesome, buddy.
Come. Come. That's a girl. Sit. Good
Good job.
sit. Thank you, Gwen.
You bet. You guys have a good one.
Awesome. Thanks.
Oh, you're not coming tomorrow, right? That's right. Okay.